Welcome, gentlemen. Two, trying to make Will Wilson the greatest chess player of this Twitch stream community. We have two games for you here. These are both by in Black's perspective. We had Mr. Will Wilson, Will Wilson, playing in the Black piece. So we're gonna take a look at all the moves and go through them. Okay, great. Let's do it. So starting off here, this is a Caro Kann. This is good. This is the Hillbilly attack. Just very normal moves here. This is good. The bishop moves back. This is good. Development, absolutely. Here, after knight f6, I want to debate considering pushing. So whenever a pawn attacks a pawn, we have decisions to make. We can A, leave it there. We can B, push it. Or C, we can capture. Let's look at those options. We capture, the bishop takes, and we keep developing. We're not much better here. We leave it there, as we do here. They will take and move forward. This is what happens in the game. But if we push, how strong is this pawn? Let's take a look. First off, it will never be able to be attacked by another pawn. Notice this pawn is gone and this pawn is gone. This pawn, of course, capture it. And so how does white get this pawn? Well, first off, you can't really move the knight out right now. So let's not worry about that. Maybe we can get the bishop moving. So something like out here and move this and here and out, and that's just too long. That if white does that, this pawn served its duty. Very good. What about something like getting the queen out? Well, you can't do it right now. This bishop is here. But here's the biggest wrinkle in all of this. Your knight's currently defending it. So even if there was an attacker that was not a pawn, they can't take it. There would have to be two attackers. And if there was ever two attackers, pawn up there. And then you're set. So this totally suffocates white's position. They can't move the knight. Okay, let's say they do this, right? The knight's defending it. How do they add more pressure to it? It's almost impossible. Okay, so let's say they try to get this knight more involved too. So if they push here, we're just going to make some waiting moves here that are obviously you would never do. All of this and that was so worth it. But then even then, just have this. White has nothing. White has absolutely nothing to deal with this pawn. So here, instead of just letting it sit, I've never seen this in a hill. I've never seen it come down to pushing c4 here. Absolutely a blunder by white. Definitely, at least suffocates. Worth noting that with a normal response like this, and we do not want to push any further. Probably. She looks pretty good. If you push here, this would also be okay. The knight gets out in this position, but this is also pretty suffocating. Oh, you could. But even still, I think I like it here better. Up to you. Okay, moving on. So still, at least we are defending the pawn. That is good. We will capture it. And now there's an attack on our knight via the bishop and the queen, and we only have one defender. What are we going to do? Guard here. This is a good move in one of one scenarios. That's it. Anything else they do? Well, okay. That's also pretty good. This is more. Anything else they do, it's not a good move. Why is it not a good move? Because it entirely suffocates your bishop. So this is the Caro Kann bishop. There's a French bishop, which is supposed to be tight. It's supposed to be uncomfortable. But the Caro Kann light squared bishop wants to be free, wants to run out, it wants to play. And so try not to block it in. So what's a better move? Just like that. That's fine. Now, this is not under attack, so it's not going to be a pawn structure. And eventually we're looking to probably get rid of this knight here anyway. And so it's not going to be. Yes, it is blocking here, but we'll probably move. So worth considering there. After this, the knight going out, we probably should move this. Where do we move it? It's never fun to move it back to its, but it might be better. Obviously, I think you moved here because you to be a fork of about this guy. Nothing that. But even still, this is not terrible. This also has ideas of fork. Okay, but now see, notice the bishop is totally sad. Very sad bishop. And we can't even really push this pawn or very, very weak. So, we'll see. We'll see what happens. This move does nothing. I don't know what white is doing here on this move. That does absolutely nothing. What are we doing? What are we trying to accomplish here? There's no fork. There's no fork. There's nothing. This is the weirdest move of the entire game. I don't know what this is. It's not doing anything. You could push it, like try and kick it out of there, but frankly, let it stay there, right? I mean, what is it going to do? Unfortunately, knight c2 check is not what we're looking for. Just this bishop. Now on this move, knight b4, this does a couple things. This is attacking the bishop, and it's trying to get where it can two pieces. This is a good move in theory. However, it is just simply a one-move attacking move. What is a one-move attacking move? It's when you play a piece to an area that is so obviously attacking another piece. Like you literally, your eyes move to where it moved, and then you see like, oh yeah, it's attacking my piece. So it's very easy to just... A move considering here that we should consider. We've now moved this knight. We've moved a knight. Like what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times. We've moved knights 5 times. It's move 10. Half of the moves of this entire game have been knights. Let's mix it up a little bit. You could just develop a bishop, but notice this move. 7. Bishop d7. It's a very good idea that falls under, if this is granted. White does nothing. The idea for this is to do exactly what you did. Right here. Attacking this bishop. Why is this different now? Well, now it's not just a single move. It's fork. It's a weird fork, but it is a fork. We're attacking the bishop. We are attacking the knight. Now, would the bishop just go here? Yeah, absolutely. And then we're going to push. And then the knight's going to move. And we don't even have to get crazy with the ideas. Trading here is absolutely amazing. Because we get the fork. Right? Very, very strong move here. It looks like nothing. It looks like nothing. Bishop d7. But it is so very strong. So what if they don't do that? What if they instead move the knight to here? Ah, I'm protecting my bishop, right? Can't do anything. Alternatively, this is a little bit scarier of a move. I don't know if I would go for it. Because if the queen moves to any of these 3 squares, you can't just capture it. Talk about moving this. Or maybe the castling, and it's a little tricky, but who cares? Just put the bishop out there. Attacking the knight. And so now, even if they defend, not a big deal. By the way, royal fork. Great. So, worth considering. Absolutely worth considering. If here... Okay, now we gotta bite them. Now we gotta do this move. Unfortunately. But that's okay. That's still worth it. It's still worth it because we are getting a great move from it. If the queen were to go here, yeah, we probably need to just use our piece. Probably just gotta defend. Try and castle. This is still not easy by any means for white to navigate. They can do this. And then that's pretty good, but then let's see here. Takes. Wait, did I get that right? Yeah, takes. Now we can talk about moving rook in here. We can talk about canceling. And so it's not absolutely a killer move, but this also, and I'm not seeing 20 moves into the future. Don't get me wrong here. It's just this is a principled move. Bishop d7, very principled. We're just developing, and then to see from there, hey, that actually makes my idea look a lot better. That's what I'm trying to have this be in your brain. Just good, natural moves. Don't get too aggressive with things like this. Just develop. It's good. You're not going to get a home run every single time you move a piece. Just singles, doubles. Those are good. That's good baseball. It's good baseball. Okay, so we go here, we go here. This is very, very, very dangerous, bishop a4, because it sets up a discovered check. And so if any point at all he moves this knight, it is check. That means he can go here and get a rook for the price of maybe a bishop. But even then, if you go, for example, here, like, oh, well, it is, oh, no, it's a double. It's a double. Even stronger. Stronger, right? That is. Anyway, so what do we need to do? How we need to stop discoveries immediately when we see them. Do not allow discoveries to happen. There's a couple ways to do that. You can attack the piece that would discover. However, this would be a double, right? We just witnessed that. Or just block it. And we're still developing. This is such a good move. And then now there's nothing, right? Absolutely nothing. Okay, so what instead happens? Well, we move here. And this is a very interesting move because it is a check. And it's defended by the queen. But it is only a move you should consider if your next immediate move is to capture a piece. Which, by the way, I would not recommend. And you don't do as well. But now you've lost the defense. So they didn't see it there. They still don't see it. You don't see it. You guys are fighting over pawns. You should be fighting over pieces, right? I mean, white is up an entire piece. They really shouldn't care if this is captured. And by the way, it's not a big deal. You have 1, 2, 3 attackers. They can add a third. They can add a fourth. Even if it gets captured, I mean, what? So they move here. You're gonna do, right? Capture here, capture there. Okay, you won a pawn. Well done. Anyway, so, oh yeah, this is the worst move I've ever seen in my life. So I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. It's the worst move though. What is the point? This was the move. This is like giving. I don't know. I don't even know if I can find a real world example of this just with how this is. Don't do this. This is bad because it forces him to do the amazing move of discover check. And then, okay, now we lost it. Okay, and then also here, we are now down 2 pieces, really 1 because we're going to trade here. When you are down, do not trade queens, but instead you trade queens. Good job getting the king active. That's smart. And as we move on, love this move, grabbing space. Back, good. Not trading the piece. More space. Good stuff. Good stuff. This is a great move here. H5. Guard here. Now these 2 pawns cannot move because of the singular pawn. Okay, now here, this is a 1-move blunder. Simply put. Be on the lookout for those. 2 attackers. They notice. Move on. Also worth noting, these are very strong bishops, and this is even strong. This is the strongest bishop because all of your pawns are on light squares. So it can move around these like it's nothing, right? It can just go on about, and no pawn is ever going to stop it. So stay on light squares or trade it off. So I understand the trade-off, but also don't trade off if you're losing. So you're just in a tough spot here. Here you're focusing too much on attacking, I think, but it's okay. This is just a good idea for me. Here, this is a losing move, just because here with a bunch of other attackers. Maybe what you could do here is this. They take on your terms, but then even then, you're going here and you play this. I think also already. So you're still just down a piece, whole piece. They'll figure it. Okay, so that's the end. That's the end. Well done. Well done. Well done to your game 2. Much quicker. Get to the top of this one. We are having another Caro-Kann. If white allows you to take this piece, this pawn, you take that pawn. You do not do anything else. You take this pawn. You say thank you very much. If they move here, you will protect it. That's it. Okay, that's it. And if they try and put something else out there, then you can attack it again. You can consider pushing it. But this is just very strong for you. You eventually want to get your bishop out, and then you'll push this one. Great. Not this. Not this, because that happens. And then you have to get your queen out. Why is getting your queen out this early bad? Because you have not developed any pieces, so none of them can help her. And if they just stick this knight out there, you just have to go back. Some move. Does that happen, though? Of course it does. Also worth noting, in the Caro-Kann, you almost never want a castle queen. You are intending to push the c-pawn. Castle on the king side, because it's safer there. You want to use the c-pawn to fight for the center, whatever you do in the opening, and then castle to the king side where it's safer. But castling queenside is almost always inherently more dangerous because the D file, this diagonal, is going to likely be. The D is a center pawn. So you're on the diagonal of the center pawn. You castle this way, and well, now you're on the F pawn. Well, that's almost never going. So it's a cute move, absolutely, but it's better to just push this pawn here, develop the knight, develop the. Also, I wrote this down. I forgot to. On move 3. Boom. Takes here. Takes here. Here. If they go here, keep defending this pawn. Right? And then even if they go here to defend it, and that you let them. You let them do it. You push here. They capture. 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 Look at this beautiful skewer. Now they can never move this knight until they move their queen diagonal. Then you can take it, unless they want to push things like that. Very strong move here. Okay, now let's go back. Sorry. So castling, queenside, very bad, especially with the c pawn gone. We want to eventually move to a8. Take 2 more moves to move. Even at least bishop b8 would be fine, but it's still not that safe. So, here obviously move the queen back. Here obviously do something with the bishop. But even, you may not even had to play that knight there. Might have been best to go. Something as well for this knight. I know a bishop and a knight are worth 3 points. That is correct, but really what it means is bishops are probably worth 4 points if it's an open position, and knights are worth 4 points if it's a close. This is a very open position. Notice this whole square, there's 4 pieces and a pawn. This is a very open. Keep this bishop. Don't just trade this because they're both worth 3 points. Only trade pieces of equal value if you give me a good reason. Being attacked is not good enough of a reason. If you go backwards instead, you have the same exact pressure that you had before. If they push you further, you have a very strong bishop going all the way to the B square. And they've fully weakened their king. These 2 pawns. This knight is a lot weaker now. Even this creates the exact same problem as before, except now they don't have these pawns. So don't trade for no reason, just because it's simplifying. Similar for him here, very bad trade. Terrible trade. You need to trade there. I would king b7. Not king b7, that's okay. This is a great move. I love this move right here. We ready for this? We ready for this? Boom! F5. Incredible move. What an amazing move. Why is this move so good? It captures some center spaces. It attacks this knight, so you do it for free. It's amazing. If it moves back, we got to defend it. Another amazing move. Boom! However, why was it even better? Smooth. Knight f4! Do you see it? Why is knight f4 so good? It attacks the queen. So what? I'm just going to move it back here. Checkmate. This is a fork on the queen and a checkmate. However, they can block here or here, but this is captured by a pawn, so not that. And then we take and look at this terrible pawn structure that white has. Absolutely miserable. That is a good reason. trade. And so now here's a free pawn. We can move the rook up, attack these pawns. We can just get in there, right? And sure, yeah, we might lose this pawn. Big whoop. You can also defend this pawn right now, then move on. But this is so much better of a position than this is, right? The king is so much safer here. The queen on this right here, this is a fully open file. If they ever put a rook right here, you lose the queen. So yeah, getting rid of the queen is really not that bad in this scenario. Still a good move. I like g6. Here, this is basically the biggest last teaching point of this video. This is called an umbrella pawn. Why is it an umbrella pawn? Well, there's no pawns to the left of it, and it is right in front. It cannot move because of an enemy piece. And so your knight here has a little umbrella on top. Notice how hard it is to attack this knight. First off, it's got two defenders. And besides that, a rook here does nothing, right? Absolutely nothing. If you could put a rook here, and a queen here, and this knight is still totally fine. It's blocked by its own pawn. So this pawn here is such a big weakness for white because your knight becomes so much stronger. So what's the goal with this knight? Do not move it unless you have an extremely, extremely good reason. Because this is the strongest piece on the board right now. How strong is it? Notice the evaluation here. It's an even game. Maybe black has a benefit. With this blunder, you lost the equivalent of 7 points. This was not a 3-point blunder. This was almost the blunder of a queen. That's how strong that piece. Okay, so obviously this is a terrible move. What's a better move? There's a lot. King b7 is not one. We've lost our point because, or lost our opportunity because queen here. Odd if can't do it. So how do we prepare that move? Yeah, bishop g7 prevents that square from being queen, and so the bishop can't just go here to prevent it because we have our knight. So yeah, it's a little bit weaker. Now this, oh wow, what a beauty this would be. Trying to get the skewer doesn't quite work because you move the king. But unfortunately, a one-move blunder steals this game. Yeah. And this pawn is Eve's apple. This is Eve's apple right here. Little reference for my Bible heads out there in chat. If you take this, you completely lose. Your queen still here. You can't even go king b7 here. We've lost it. We wanted to go here 30 moves ago. Actually, more like 10. But you can't just move your queen either, So it's probably escape, right? Move this way. Yeah, you castled queenside. It's still better to go kingside at this point. Because yeah, after this, it's pretty not much. And then a beautiful opponent. Definitely a worthy resign. Something you could, doesn't quite work in this scenario. Chess is beautiful, don't you think?